So I want to do a quick tour of the garden before it goes bye-bye. Well, not bye-bye, but it's all going to be pulled. It is the season. It has actually long past the season. I was supposed to do this like a month ago. So I'm a little behind, but it's going to get done in the next couple weeks. But before I pull it, I'm going to do some videos of how I revitalize my beds in between season changes, because here in Florida 9B, we have 4 seasons. 4, and it's awesome. You get to know each one of them. They are very, very different, distinct seasons. And I did not know this when I started off last year, and I'm just like, I can plant sweet potatoes all year round. No, you can't. I can plant carrots all year round. A little bit, maybe, sort of, different varieties. But it was so much that I had to learn, because in Canada, where I'm from, even though, it's warming up. I think it's about 65 degrees right now. I shed one layer. I don't like the cold. I really don't like the cold. But in Canada, where I'm from, we have one growing season. It is not tough. You take the things, you put the seeds in the ground, and it grows. There's only certain things that will grow. Other things will not grow. Very, very easy. Not as much pest pressure as we have here in Florida. So not a lot to learn. Here in Florida, we can grow a lot of things. We can grow what we grow in Canada in the winter. We can grow things tropically in the summer. And then we have these two, the fall and the spring, where less pest pressure, especially for me. I got squash bug issues, and I'll share some of the tips and tricks that I've learned, because I grew no squash last year. I grew like 2 little baby zucchinis and these little butternut squash that were like this big before everything was decimated. And so I learned a lot. I got some tools. We are growing squash right now for the first time. But we'll do a little garden tour, because I am going to be pulling all of these beds very, very soon. And we do need to revitalize the beds in between each growing season. Now, we want to remember, we are focusing on microbe growth. Microbes. We're not focusing on anything else. We want to grow our microbes. We want to build that soil with organic matter. And when you start focusing on that, things will bloom and they will grow. And why I grow chaos, which looks like chaos too, is because it feeds the microbes, right? If you only have one thing growing here, and your soil is bare and you're trying to make it look all pretty and meticulous, no, we want heavy density. We want roots in the ground. We want the roots to create the ecosystem. That is where the microbes go. This is where we have all of these microbes living in a symbiotic relationship with the roots, creating its immune system, sort of to speak. And we need to foster that. That is our main goal. Not killing bugs. Healthy plants, an abundance of plants. You're going to handle your bugs. Just like right now, we are handling some squash bugs. Okay, so I'm going to turn my camera. We're going to do a quick tour of this jungle, this chaotic jungle, before we switch over to our winter beds, which is a lot less chaotic. It doesn't grow as big and beautiful, because I'm really just going to be focusing on very specific vegetables that we eat. That's one thing I also learned. Don't grow things that you're not eating or your animals are not eating. It is pointless. So if my animals are not going to eat it, or I'm not going to eat it, we're not going to grow it. We're going to focus on the really heavy feeders for our family. What can we eat a lot of? What could we survive off of? So in our summer crops, that's sweet potatoes. In our winter crops, we do a lot of carrots and potatoes, because that's what we eat. I will be growing some lettuces and doing some co-planting, so it will still look big and beautiful, but not like this, and not like my spring garden. My spring garden is insane. The watermelon everywhere, the cucumbers everywhere. It just takes over and it looks like an absolute jungle. So this is a little bit more controlled. I did not get... Well, I probably have some pictures. I'll try to find some pictures of that chaos and share that in this video, so that you can see the difference. This is like reined in a little bit chaos. Then winter is going to be very reined in. Then it's going to go crazy in the spring. And then we'll go back to this in the summer. And I really didn't do anything for the fall, because I didn't. I skipped over that season. We're still in this, and we've had a really cold year. Like, I should not be in a sweater and a jacket at the end of October. I should be going to the ocean. This is normally our ocean month and our swimming month, because the tourists are not back. So September and October, we are swimming, we are at the parks, we are doing all these fun things, and it's just been really cold. So let's turn this got growing. So I tend to do this when I have an extra bed. I'll just start sticking things in it with the full intention of moving it. Now, this is one of these examples of how I got some squash to grow and some nasturtiums. So nasturtiums are very big attractors of squash bugs, and we still have a ton of them because I'm killing them every day in my garden, and I squash them. But I could not grow this at all until I put this bed of clover. Now, clover is a nitrogen fixer. You need to be cautious with how you use it. You would not put it in a bed that has really low low leaves, like strawberries or something like that. It could take over and really ruin it. But here we're seeing everything turn green and thriving, where this was all dead, and all of a sudden it's starting to come back up. We have some galangal, we have some sugarcane. This sugarcane will move. This is just a temporary bed because I got ordered in all of these fancy colors of sugarcane, and I was lazy and I had nowhere to put them, and this bed was not doing well. All of this was dead, and so I just stuck them in here. That's how it goes. And I'm just working on finally getting some irrigation to these beds. Genius here forgot to order elbows, so I'm now running irrigation right across the bed, and I bet you I'm going to trip over that a million times. So here again we have some clover, and the squash is coming up really, really nicely. Will we get anything before it freezes? Probably not, because we're having such a cold year. So this entire bed is basically sweet potatoes and cowpeas, and these are my summer cover crops. So cowpeas, they are a really good survival crop. They're nitrogen fixers. We don't really eat them, but if we had to, we would. And you can grow so much cowpeas. Like, honestly, they grow out of the mulch just fine. You can literally just sprinkle cowpeas all over the mulch and you will have food. This is my absolute favorite plant, and I let them grow wild and go crazy, because if it wasn't so cold, it would be covered in pollinators. There will be thousands of bees in my garden and butterflies, and it's just absolutely stunning. So these have free reign. Again, they're growing everywhere. Baby basil, I pull these, I give them away, and it smells absolutely spectacular. So this bed has to go. We have another bed of sweet potatoes, cowpeas, has to go. Those are cowpeas. This is another type of pea. This took a really long time to grow. I don't even remember what this is. I tend to just throw a bunch of seeds in and see what happens. And I did a bunch of variety of like the southern beans and cowpeas and everything like that. And this was the only, I put a whole bunch of different things, and really these cowpeas and these 4 or 5 plants these were the only ones of these plants that grew. Very, very weird. So anyway, this is all going to be brought down, and I'm going to show you how I do that without disturbing my soil. My friend always comes over here and steals all my chives or onions or whatever these are. I don't eat onions, so I don't even know what they are, but they are just pest deterrents. And you can see we have a little abundance of grass growing here. This needs to also go. Oh my gosh, this is going to take me forever. More cowpeas. This actually was a late bed that I did, and you can see that it's ready to go. I got to pick all these peas. It's going to take me forever. This bed was already pulled, so this is what it looked like when it's pulled. I do a lot of companion type planting. You can see I'm the crazy lady that puts mints in her bed. I do normally keep it in check, but I love my mint, and I have a lot of beds, so I really don't care if it's taking over or whatever it's doing. It really helps keep the bugs down. My marigolds are coming to the end of their season. I put these in the spring, but I have marigolds all over everywhere. And so here you can see some carrots coming up. I've got some lettuces, and I threw some other things in here that I really don't know what I did. It was just throw and go, and then leave it and see what happens. We have a lemon balm growing a little bit mad. And as you can see, more crazy basil. I am like obsessed with basil. It's going to be all over my property. And we got the cowpeas. These ones are really, really dying back. Like I left them too long. They're already moldy. Those beans are gone, but they're doing their job. They are revitalizing the soil. Again, sweet potatoes, cowpeas, and there's some herbs that we'll find in there underneath. See some carrots over there that didn't get pulled. And again, just the sweet potatoes taking over. So my summer garden is actually really boring. It's cowpeas and sweet potatoes and a mixture of whatever's thrown in there. And latte, that's duck water. That's yucky. So here you can see we have squash growing for the first time ever, and it is because of this clover. This clover is keeping the squash bugs from decimating my squash. They do not like it whatsoever. Now we still have some grasshoppers, and I allow whatever butterfly, little wormy wants to come and decimate whatever it wants. It can have its way. But there's enough food. Like the amount of harvest we're going to get, and we really don't eat a lot of squash, so we don't need a huge harvest. We love our sweet potatoes. These are my little nursery beds that are these are going to stay strawberries. This is actually started off as a bed for the rabbits. This was just purely a clover bed, and randomly we had some volunteer squash in there, and it grew. This is how I learned that squash and clover grows really well together, because all my other squash died everywhere except this bed started to grow squash. And so now we are employing that. So we do have some strawberries here. This is a nursery bed for baby blueberry plants, so I can have them on irrigation and not have to water them while they're growing. I have blueberries all along that fence line. It is going to go all the way down the fence so that I can cover them with netting, because this year we lost all of our blueberries to the birds. So I will be continuing to go down. We have pine needles to keep the weeds down and provide some acidity. This is Mexican sunflower. We're growing this for the rabbits. This will all be sunflower, which I will then propagate out. It grows really well in the sand. Like it can grow on next to nothing. So it will not stay in this bed, but it just was an easy way for me to propagate all of the Mexican sunflower that we had. This bed I'm going to be propagating some sugarcane for the winter, because I really don't feel like digging any holes, and my sugarcane needs to come down. And because I'm so late in the season, I should have been doing this in September and getting them germinated and established before the winter came, which I didn't. So I'm going to be burying them deep just so that they can stay down. And I have no idea. I think I'm just going to do potatoes in this bed. So that is our garden right now. We also have over here our nursery, which has almost everything that's left is going to be going in the greenhouse for the winter, except we have the 2 pineapple guava and the pindo palms, which will be going in the bed. And then these are just going to stay. This is going to all go in. The ginger really doesn't need to. It will just die back and survive. It's going to go with the bananas. So I'm going to have a big banana grove over here. We already have the 4 bananas in, and I'm going to plant another row on the other side to create a big row of banana circles. This is going to all be full. That paddock will all be full of bananas and turmeric, and we have some vetiver grass, and ouch, I'm going to be doing a lot of pineapple back there. But these guys do need to go in the ground, and it is really late. Like they should have been in the ground already, establishing their root structure. But they should be fine. They'll survive. All right, and then we do have a lot of papayas here, but they're just babies, so they're going to go in the greenhouse for the winter. Now, the greenhouse, which is not built, and I will be building that in the next, actually, probably this weekend. I have some people coming over to help me do some farm chores, and I'm just going to be doing a very quick greenhouse we have a bunch of cattle panels that were supposed to be there last spring, never got out, which is why everything was a chaotic jungle. They will go out, and I will turn one of them into a greenhouse. So here we have our beautiful Florida cranberry. This is the Roselle, and it is just growing like wild. We just did a full picking a couple days ago, and it's growing beautifully. We turn this into a jam, save the seeds. Just a beautiful plant, really. And when it flowers, right now it's very cold, but when it flowers during the day, it's stunning. Got a lot of butterfly pea here. So these are really cool that if you take them and put them in water, it will turn it blue. And if you add something acidic, then it will turn it pink. So I have more butterfly pea, but this grew insanely. I've been really trying to grow passion flower, but the little passion flower caterpillars are just decimating them. There is some society garlic in here. See, there's one right there. There is a lovely little guy, and he's a little stunted because it's a little cold. But they have their way with my passion flower. One day I will have so much passion flower that nothing will stand a chance. We've got some rosemary, some interspersed marigolds. This is some butterfly pea this is my nemesis. This is morning glory and absolutely drives me insane. I am nonstop picking that up. We got some zinnias here. This is a catnip plant. These, I believe, are dandelion greens or dandelions. I'm trying to grow dandelions. They don't really grow well here. Like in Canada, they're everywhere, but dandelions are so beneficial. I have no idea what this is. I have no idea what that is. Again, some more passion flower. We've got a basil plant that's dying back here. This is pokeweed. I have pulled this thing and tried to kill it so many times. It doesn't die. Lemongrass, some type of flower, some type of something. And this is a type of, it's a type of hibiscus. And it's blooming a really beautiful flower. No idea. Somebody gave that to me. Doug gave that to me. And apparently the rabbits like to eat it. This, I have no idea. Oh, wow. That is really strong. Kind of smells like rosemary. It's got to be a different variety of rosemary. Woo, that's strong. But don't quote me on that. There's some things I just plant and I don't know. Passion flower again being decimated. I have no idea what this is. And we've got another one of those hibiscus. We got some Mexican sunflower. You can stick it anywhere it grows. This is comfrey. Such a great crop to grow for your rabbits. Mine won't eat it. None of my animals will eat it. But this is the bone knit plant. You can take this. It's so fuzzy. It's so beautiful. And it stays very clean. And you can put it on like broken bones, pulled tendons, and it heals very rapidly. This really needs to be totally weeded. Oh my goodness. Look at this. And this is what I'm talking about. It's just chaos. You can't keep on top of your weeds, so don't even try. This I'm going to separate out and put all around my fruit trees because it is amazing nutrients. This is my friend's chicken garden. This is what they grew. The watermelon. We've got some, this is like a Milo. Turns into like a wheat that none of my animals will eat. And we got some sunflower growing and just a cute little garden that they grew. They were here for a couple months pooping and just turning out into this nice garden. And here you can see all of our bananas. So that's a tour of this garden area. I'll do another time. I'll tour all the trees that we have back here, and we have quite a few trees out in the front.